sweetie. Whereabouts are you? Are you on your way home from work yet? Only, I can't help but have a massive craving for some watermelon. It would honestly be so nice right now that I would be forever in your debt if you could get me one. LOL.
Yeah, I'm about to leave work. I'll pick you one up on the way home.
Oh, thank you. Me and Miss Bump here thank you greatly and love you lots. We don't know what we would do without you. LOL.
Uh-huh.
Can you believe that we are literally only weeks away from being parents? It's crazy. I'm honestly freaking out a little bit because I feel like I have no clue what to do when the baby is born. I've been reading all of these birthing books and all about how to look after a baby, but I still feel like I'm underprepared. Like I'm forgetting something, you know?
Yeah, I get what you mean. It's definitely scary.
Tell me about it. I don't know how I'm going to be when I actually go into labor. All that blood and pain and crying. It's going to be a nightmare.
Blood?
Yeah, and then after that is when the actually hard part starts. We'll have to look after and care for an actual baby. An actual tiny human being will be relying on us to get it to adulthood in one piece. I don't know how I've managed to do that myself, let alone getting a baby there. LOL. But the worst part will be the nappies. They are going to be awful. Good job I've got you to help me out there, huh?
That's where you're wrong.
Huh?
I draw the line at changing nappies. I'm definitely not going to be doing that. It's your job. You're the mom, so you have to change all the diapers.
I was just having a joke with you before, but there's no chance that I'm going to be the only one changing our daughter's diapers. You're going to have to do it too, you know.
No way. I'm not changing smelly, messy diapers. It's not happening.
So what are you going to do when you're watching our daughter and she fills her nappy? Huh? You can't just leave her in a dirty nappy, as that's how she'll get nappy rash. She'll need changing, and you'll have to do it.
I'll just ask someone else to do it.
You can't ask a random stranger to look after our daughter and change her nappy. You are her father, so you'll have to take responsibility and do it yourself.
Well, tough. I'm not gonna do it. I'm also not gonna be getting up in the middle of the night if she wakes up screaming and crying.
And why is that?
Because I'm a very important and busy man, and I won't have time to look after a screaming child for hours on end in the middle of the night. You'll have to make her be quiet and relatively quickly so that I don't lose too much sleep.
Okay, from the looks of things, we really need to have a good long chat about what it means to be a parent. Obviously, you think that you can just lump all of the chores and difficult aspects of raising a baby onto me, and me alone. I can't be the only one taking care of our daughter. You're going to have to help out too.
I do help out, and I get the money, I'm the one who works, and make sure we actually have a roof over our heads, and 4 walls to stay in. Without me, you'd be destitute on the streets.
That's not true at all. Before getting pregnant, I was working a really well-paying job, and I had a lot of options to progress in my chosen career. However, I decided to have this baby with you when I found out that I was pregnant, because I love you, and I want to start a family with you. I thought you loved me as well. But with how you're talking, it doesn't sound too true at the moment.
No, don't overreact. I love you. You know I do. But I didn't choose to have this baby. You did. You want it, then you have to look after it. I can't be doing that as well as working. I'll have no time for myself if I do all of that.
So, when am I supposed to have time for myself if I've got a baby to look after full-time and no husband to help me out with things?
As the mom, you don't get time for yourself. You've got a baby to look after.
Do you even hear yourself right now? You sound so selfish and conceited.
Whatever, I'm just telling you the fact of the matter, and that is that you're the one who needs to stay home and take care of the baby whilst I can do whatever I want.
Oh, that is so not happening.
I've gotta go. I need to actually start driving home so that I'm not stuck at work all night, okay?
Fine, but this conversation is so not over.
Uh-huh, sure, whatever. See you soon.
Bye. Sean, where are you? You were supposed to finish work ages ago. How come you're not back yet? Nothing's happened, has it? You're okay, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, about that. I decided that I didn't really feel like dealing with a pregnant you, especially considering that I have to go to work tomorrow, so I've decided not to come home tonight.
What? Please tell me you're joking. You can't just ditch me.
No, I'm not joking. I'm not coming home tonight. And I don't know if I'll come back at all these next few weeks whilst you're getting ready to have the baby. I don't want to have to deal with a heavily pregnant wife whilst trying to work as well. It's just way too exhausting.
Well, where are you then?
I'm just at my mom's house.
Seriously?
Yeah, oh, and she totally agrees with me, by the way. She thinks that it's kind of rude of you to demand that I help out with all the cleaning and stuff with the baby when it's born, when I've been at work all day. She said that considering you're the wife, and that you should be the one to cook and clean and look after the baby. I shouldn't have to do a woman's work, to be honest.
Woman's work? What on earth are you on about? Taking care of a house is not woman's work. If two people live in it, like we do, then it's up to both members of the couple to keep it clean and tidy and looking nice. And that goes double for looking after a baby. I'm really going to need your help and support when our daughter arrives, which will include tidying up any mess that she makes or helping me with the housework when it arises. Besides, it's not even like you're the only one who works. I'd understand and take a bit more responsibility if I was a stay-at-home wife who had time to clean and stuff during the day. But the fact of the matter is, I have a job too. I might be on maternity leave at the minute, but that doesn't make my work any less important than yours.
Well, whatever. I'm tired and stressed, and all I want to do is have a nice, relaxing evening after work. I knew if I came home, then I wouldn't be able to do that, as you just keep nagging me over and over again to look through the baby books again and to plan out how I'm going to help take care of the baby. It's annoying, and I've seriously had enough of it.
Seriously? Having a baby is annoying to you? Well, I can't wait to see how you behave when she's actually born.
Look, I'm done talking about this. I'm staying at my mom's tonight, so don't bother coming to get me. Got it?
Fine then. And don't worry. I wasn't going to beg you for anything. Not anymore. I can clearly see what you think of me and our baby, and that you're not going to help me anyway.
Well, who knows? Maybe if you beg me to come back home and apologize for how you've been acting, I might do so.
What do you mean, beg you to come home?
I mean exactly what I said. If you actually apologize for being a demanding and frankly annoying wife, then I might consider coming back home tonight. Or at the very least, I won't stay at my mom's house until the baby's born. After all, I would like to sleep in my bed again before then. It's much more comfortable.
Hang on a minute. You mean to tell me that you want me to turn around and beg for you to come home? And on top of that, you want me to apologize for telling you that you have to take care of our daughter?
Well, yeah.
Unbelievable.
Well, what kind of wife goes on and on and on about her husband needing to help her out? You honestly make yourself sound like an incapable toddler. Can you seriously not do anything for yourself?
I'm the incapable one? Says the man who gets into a huff when he has to iron his own shirt.
That's women's work.
You know what? I don't want you coming home tonight after all. I seriously can't deal with your ridiculous and selfish behavior. I have other things to worry about instead. Stay at your mom's house because this door is going to be locked for the rest of the night.
Fine then, I will.
Great.
So, have you thought about how you were acting yesterday? Are you ready to apologize?
Apologize for what?
You know what. Look, just kneel down and seek my forgiveness. If you actually do it, I'll be laughing all the way home.
You've lost your home. It's gone.
Huh? What do you mean by that?
I mean that I don't want you coming back at all.
Hang on, but why not?
Well, let's face it. You've made it very clear that you don't want to help me with the baby when she's born, so you can stay where you are. I don't need some useless and lazy person getting in my way when I'm trying to take care of a newborn baby. I mean, I'll have one helpless child to look after and make sure nothing bad happens to them. I can't be dealing with looking after a selfish toddler as well.
Look, it's like I said, all you have to do is just beg me to come back home, and I might consider coming back and maybe helping with some things, like holding her every now and then. All you have to do is swallow your pride and apologize.
I have absolutely nothing to apologize for, and the fact that you're trying to blackmail me into saying I'm sorry for no reason whatsoever just shows what your true character actually is.
Huh? What do you mean?
You're nothing but a selfish, sexist, and horrible little man who, apparently, can't feel good about himself unless he's trying to force his pregnant wife to beg him to come back home and help her out with the baby that they are only weeks away from having together.
But this isn't fair. You should listen to your husband when he tells you to do something.
Are you really being this petty right now? You're getting angry and annoyed at me simply because I won't beg you to come home?
Yeah, I mean, I'm the man of this relationship, not you. I don't want to be shown up and made to feel emasculated. You need to just do what I tell you when I tell you to do it. That's what a good little housewife would do.
Okay, 1, that's incredibly sexist. And 2, I'm not a housewife. I have a job. I am just on maternity leave.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Wow, good comeback.
Yeah, look, if you don't do what I say right now, then there will be consequences.
Consequences? What are those then?
Well, you'll just have to wait and see. Of course, if you do what I tell you to, then you won't have to deal with them.
Uh-huh. Well, whilst you think up some consequences, I'm going to get back to baby-proofing the house and setting up my daughter's nursery.
Duh, why can't you just be a good little housewife and do what I say? How hard is it to listen to your husband? Stop being so disobedient.
Disobedient? Where on earth has all of this come from? You weren't this sexist and crazy when we first got married.
Yeah, well, this is who I am now. Deal with it.
And this is the kind of dad that you're going to be to our daughter? Crazy and sexist and selfish? Trying to teach her that she's less than boys and men simply because she's a girl?
What I teach my daughter is up to me. Now, are you gonna beg me to come home like I told you to?
No.
Well then, I guess you'll just have to raise the baby yourself then. You could have saved yourself the trouble if you just done what I told you to. But you're simply too stubborn for your own good. I'm gonna go and relax now then. My mom has made me a nice dinner and I'm gonna just watch some TV and go to bed. What are you gonna do? Stay up all night working on the nursery and reading baby books all by yourself? It's not very attractive, you know. We'll have to have a proper conversation about all this when I get back.
Uh-huh. Sure.
Hey, there's no need to be so grumpy. This is all your fault anyway.
Okay.
I'm going now. Okay, very well. Delilah, where have you gone? Why aren't you home? And why can't I get into the house? My key isn't working. What have you done to the locks?
Oh, Sean. You finally decided to go home, I see? Well, I say home. It's just a house for you now, for all intents and purposes. It's not your home anymore.
That's exactly what I'm on about. What have you done? Why can't I get into the house?
Well, I've changed the locks. That's why.
Huh? What do you mean you've changed the locks? Why?
The house is mine. That's why.
What are you on about? The house isn't yours. I'm the man, so the house is mine.
Actually, it isn't. Do you remember when we were first looking for a house to buy? You were on minimum wage at the time, having just started your new job. So we decided, or well, more like you forced me, to put the mortgage in my name, as I was earning more than you. You didn't want to deal with the payments, but you didn't care if I had to. So, yeah. So it turns out that I'm the one who gets to decide who lives in my house, not you.
Hang on, but that's not fair. I live there too. I should get a say in what happens to it.
Actually, you don't live here anymore.
Look, you and I are gonna have a proper chat about what you can and can't do. You're getting way too used to just doing whatever you want, and it's not a good trait for a woman to have. You need to get used to doing what I tell you to as your husband. I can't have you teaching things like this to our daughter.
Actually, no. I'm never going to have a conversation with you ever again.
What do you mean?
I've filed for divorce. I've actually only just got back from my attorney's office this morning.
What? No way, I won't give you one.
It's too late. I've already contacted some lawyers and they are more than happy to represent me in court if it comes to it.
I can't believe you're doing this to me. How selfish can you get?
I'm not being selfish. I've just finally realized the type of person you are. And let me tell you, it's not someone I want to be with. I don't want a husband who is constantly belittling me and telling me that I can't do something just because I'm a woman. I deserve so much better than that. And I'm certainly not going to let you teach my daughter that she's less than a man. She's so much more than that.
Fine then, if that's the way you want to be, then I'll divorce you and I'll take full custody of the baby too.
No, you won't. I've already spoken to my lawyers about this, as I knew that you'd try to pull a stunt like this, and they've said that due to all of the evidence of your clear lack of interest and care towards my daughter, they'll be able to make sure that I get full custody, not you.
What?
Yep. So I'm going to continue living in my house and getting ready for the arrival of my daughter. As for you, I don't care what you do, as long as you're nowhere near me.
You absolute witch! This isn't how things are supposed to go!
Well, until you learn how to be a proper man, one who respects women, I don't think you'll be finding things going your way for quite a long time. Anyway, the divorce papers will be with you soon. I've got to go now, because I've got quite a few things left to get ready for my baby girl. See ya.
You've really done it this time, Delilah. Just you wait. I'll show you! Delilah?
I divorced Sean in the end. He tried to fight it at first, but after the judge saw how he had been treating me and how he was so disregarding of his unborn daughter, he sided with me in the end and gave me the divorce. I've since had my baby girl, who I decided to name Hope, and we have been living happily together for the last few months. It's quite hard being a single mother, but it's also incredibly rewarding, and I love every moment that I get to spend with my daughter. Last I heard, Sean ended up moving back in with his mom after I kicked him out. Also, with his new sexist attitude, he's not had any chance with relationships. Who knew that women didn't like to be treated like an object from the 1950s? Well, I mean probably everyone apart from Sean. But if he's rejected enough, maybe he'll eventually learn that times have changed, and he needs to as well if he wants to have any success in life.
What the hell, Felicity? Why would you just go and dump water on me like that? Are you actually insane?
Huh? Of course not. I simply didn't see you standing beneath my window.
You didn't see me standing beneath your window? That's seriously the excuse you're going to go with? It's not even a good excuse. What were you even doing throwing water out of a window to begin with?
Well, I was watering the flowers beneath it. I want everything to look perfect for my wedding today. And I thought that the flowers were looking a little dry. They were sagging over quite a bit, so I thought a little bit of fresh water would perk them right up. It's not my fault that you were lurking beneath my window when I threw it. Oh well, looks like you'll have to go home now and miss the wedding. What a shame.
Oh, so that's what all this was about? You just don't want me to be at your wedding. Are you really that petty and self-centered that you'd actually throw a bucket of water over me just to get me to leave?
Oh honey, if I were being petty, you'd know about it. This was me plainly showing you that I don't want you at my wedding. I did try to tell you. I mean, I didn't even send you an invitation, so you'd think that you would have gotten the message. But no. You showed up anyway. And in such an ugly dress, too. If anything, I've done you a favor. You look 10 times better wet, which isn't saying much to be honest, but you can only do so much with what you're born with.
God, I honestly don't know what Jacob sees in you. I can't believe that you're going to be my sister-in-law.
Who said anything about being sisters-in-law? There's no way in a million years that I'd ever see you as my sister, whether it's through marriage or not.
Finally, something that we can both agree on. After all, no sister of mine would purposefully dump a bucket of cold water on me just because she didn't want me at her wedding.
Yeah, well, you should have listened to me when I told you not to come.
It's not just up to you whether I get to come or not. It's up to my brother too.
Well, he doesn't want you here either.
Now I know you're just lying.
No, I'm actually not. Jacob told me himself that he doesn't want you here. He sees you as nothing more than an annoying little pest who he never wanted in his family to begin with. You were just an accident that came along and messed everything up, and Jacob really doesn't like you for doing that. In fact, he told me that he'll never forgive you for being born. You took all of his dad's attention and hogged it all for yourself. So selfish of you, if you ask me.
He does not think that, does he?
Yes, he actually does. You can even ask him yourself.
Fine, I will, and I'll prove you wrong whilst I'm at it.
I wouldn't be so sure about that if I were you. Anyway, once me and Jacob are married, we'll be setting things right in the family once again.
What do you mean by that?
Well, for starters, we'll be getting rid of you.
Huh?
Yeah, we can't be having some pathetic, selfish, attention-hogging little girl in the family now, can we?
I'm guessing that spot's reserved for you, is it?
Oh, you're so funny.
Anyway, there's no way that my mom and dad would allow that to happen. They'll always have my back, especially against someone as horrible as you.
Well, they might be changing their minds very soon. Especially when I tell them that if they don't kick you out of the family, then they won't ever get to spend time with any grandchildren that they might have from me and Jacob.
What? You'd actually stop them from seeing their grandchildren if they refuse to kick me out of the family?
Yep, not to mention if your dad doesn't give Jacob the company.
What's that got to do with anything?
There's a reason that I'm marrying your brother, you know. Your dad owns a fairly successful business, one that brings him a decent amount of money anyway, and I want to make sure that I can have a life free of work and responsibilities. That means that in order for me to do that, Jacob needs to take over the company so that he can earn the money and I don't have to get a job. You're not a major threat to that plan, as no one in their right mind would give you the business, but I just want to make sure that nothing gets in the way of my life with Jacob. By getting rid of you, it also means that Jacob won't have to share any of the money that the company brings in, especially if he decides to sell the business off.
My dad would never do that to me.
Like I said, maybe he would if it meant that he wouldn't get to see his grandchildren.
That's so horrible. Why would you even do that? Do you really dislike me that much?
I don't just dislike you, I hate you.
Why? What have I ever done to you to cause you to hate me so much? As far as I know, I haven't even interacted with you that much. The only times I've ever seen you have been when Jacob has brought you over to the house.
Yeah, and during those times, you'd always hog his attention. He doesn't even like you, so why didn't you ever take the message and just leave us alone when we visited? Better yet, why weren't you just not there when we were there? You could have left and just not come back until we were gone. No one wanted you there anyway.
Oh, I see. You were just jealous of me.
What? Why would I be jealous of you?
Maybe because I have a nice, loving family who want me to succeed and do well in life. Not to mention, they always support me no matter what. You're just jealous that they love me. I always knew that you'd be one of those girls who simply can't stand having any other woman around them simply because they get jealous. You just want all the attention on you, 24/7. That's probably why you want Jacob to take over the company as well, isn't it? You want to be able to brag to your friends that you're rich and that your husband owns a business. Well, in case you hadn't noticed, I also work in the company, and I'm in a higher position than Jacob, so he won't be getting the whole company. My dad has already said that he would split everything between us 50-50.
That's what you think. When I'm finally married into the family, a lot of things will be changing. Starting with you. Now get out of my wedding before I decide to throw another bucket of water on you. And don't go through the actual venue. I don't want there to be water all over the floor when I'm trying to have my first dance. Plus, if anyone actually sees you looking like a drowned rat, I would die of embarrassment. Especially if they thought that you were my sister-in-law. So try and sneak out. Got it?
Whatever. It looks like it's going to be a lame wedding anyways.
What? How dare you say that? My wedding would never be lame.
Yeah? Well, I think the lack of a DJ or band would beg to differ.
Just get out.
Gladly.
Sophia, where are you? The wedding's about to start and I can't find you anywhere. You're gonna miss it.
I'm not there, Dad.
Yes, I can see that, but where are you? You're gonna miss the ceremony.
No, I'm not at the wedding anymore.
What? Why not?
Well, for starters, Felicity chucked a bucket of cold water over me, so I'm drenched from head to toe and absolutely freezing. And secondly, apparently neither Felicity nor Jacob even want me at their wedding.
Hang on, what? She chucked a bucket of water on you? Was it an accident?
No, she did it on purpose. She also said that Jacob has never loved me or wanted me to be a part of the family. Apparently, he thinks that I was an accident who ruined his life because I took all of your attention or something like that.
Well, that's just ridiculous. You might not have been planned, but your mother and I love you so much and we wouldn't have had it any other way.
Thanks, Dad. But there was something else that Felicity said which has got me worried.
What is it?
Well, she said that she wouldn't let you or Mom see any children that they might have unless you kicked me out of the family and give the company to Jacob.
She said that?
Yeah. Look, I don't want to be the reason that you don't get to see your grandchildren. So, if you want me to leave, I will. I can figure something out.
Sophia, don't be ridiculous. There's no way that I would ever kick you out of the family. Even if this woman stops me from seeing my grandchildren, it doesn't change anything. You're my daughter and you're much more important to me than she will ever be, okay?
Really, Dad?
Yes. Now, you just leave your brother and his wife to me. I'll sort them out.
What do you mean?
Well, I plan on making a little speech at the wedding where I would then give control of the company to you and your brother 50-50 each. You know that I'm getting on in age and I want to experience the world a bit before I'm too old for that. I was going to retire and leave the business to you and Jacob, but with recent events coming to light, I might have to think about a few things first. But you don't need to worry about that. You just make sure you get home, okay? And that you dry off and relax. I'll sort everything else out.
Thank you, Dad. I love you.
I love you too, sweetie.
What have you done, you witch? How have you turned your dad against us like that? I can't believe what's just happened.
Huh? Felicity? Why are you messaging me? Aren't you supposed to be celebrating?
Don't act dumb with me. I can't believe what you made your dad do.
I've not made him do anything. Why? What happened?
Well, we were all enjoying the reception when it came time for the toast. I thought that your dad would give a nice little toast, congratulating me and Jacob and then handing over the company to Jacob as a wedding present. Instead, your dad turned around and said that he would never see me as his daughter-in-law due to how horrible I am, and that he was removing Jacob from the company altogether, meaning that he wouldn't get a single dollar from it unless you, as vice president, said that it was okay.
Whoa, he said all that? And in front of everyone?
Yes, it was so humiliating. I'd already bragged to all of my friends about how rich I would be, and now I'm not going to have a single dollar. This is all your fault.
Actually, no, it isn't. All I did was tell my dad what you said and did to me. He came up with this idea by himself. My dad has always prided himself on his virtues, including his kindness and his loyalty to his family. If someone tries to mess with the people that he loves, then he will make sure that they know not to do that again. Clearly, he thought this would be the best way to teach you and Jacob the consequences of your actions.
I can't believe it. You have to talk to your dad and make him give Jacob the company. If not all of it, then at least the half that he already had. It's not fair if you keep it all to yourself.
Look, I love my brother, but apparently he doesn't feel the same. I would like to help him, but my dad has just told me that if I try to give Jacob his half of the company back without him changing his selfish ways, then I will also be cut off and everything will go to charity.
What?
Yep. Looks like you and Jacob need to start working on being nicer to people, especially if you want this company. It's the only way my dad will let you have half of it after all.
This is so unfair. I hate you for this.
You might want to start thinking about how you talk to me. I mean, I doubt my dad will want to help you if you keep telling me you hate me.
Ugh!
I think you'll be without this company for quite a while. Best start looking for a job if I were you. Just like my dad said, he put the company in my name, making me his sole heir to the business. He made sure to let Jacob know that he could regain his half of the company by being nicer and kinder to me. However, he's still working on that. As for Felicity, she did end up having to get a job so that she and Jacob could afford their home. She also has to be kinder to me if she and Jacob are to get their share of the company, which means that I can't see that happening for a very long time. Oh well, some people need to learn how to be decent human beings the hard way.